everybody, this is the Primal Earth, and today we have our Dino Battle Megaraptor versus Rugops. Let's analyze the contestants to see who would win in a Dino Battle. First up is Rugops. Rugops is the terror of the African savannah. Just kidding. Where Rugops lived, even though it was in Africa, it was a marsh swamp with giant sailed-back reptiles swimming in the ocean, and large reptilian lords walking on Earth. Carcharodontosaurus ruled the land, and Spinosaurus ruled the sea. Where would Carcharodontosaurus, where would Rugops fit into the picture? Well, Rugops was the middle-sized predator. It was lesser than Carcharodontosaurus, but it was basically the top predator other than Carcharodontosaurus in the area. It was a species of abelosaurid, which means it has a large, flat, and muscular skull and muscular body in general, and very, very tiny arms that rivaled the tiny arms of the Tyrannosaurus, with only other abelosaurids having smaller arms than it. It was a scavenger and a predator. It would have hunted smaller dinosaurs, for instance. Can't really think of any smaller dinosaurs because I'm not too familiar with African dinosaurs, other than Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Bahariosaurus, Rugops, Paluxytitan, or was it Paralotitan? I think it's Paralotitan. Aegyptosaurus, and some other dinosaurs. It would have been a scavenger, and what it might have eaten. It might have eaten the leftovers of Spinosaurus, the fish that it didn't eat. And it might have eaten the leftovers of Carcharodontosaurus, the Oranosaurids, the herbivores, the Paralotitans that it didn't eat. So Rugops was a pretty versatile animal. It would have been fast, because abelosaurids are built for speed and strength. It would have been fast. It would have been not the brightest of creatures, though. Sometimes even maybe going to steal a kill from a Carcharodontosaurid or Spinosaurid while they were still eating due to it not being so smart. Most people label dinosaurs as dumb and slow and near-wit and dull-witted. That's not so true for dinosaurs anymore, but dinosaurs weren't the smartest of creatures, if you know what I'm saying. Probably the Troodon wasn't as smart as a chicken. To put it that way. The smartest dinosaur wasn't even as smart as a chicken. However, intelligence doesn't mean smarts. Well, I mean, it does, but the way we're using it. It probably had the capacity to know, big dinosaur, big teeth, stay away. Unless it thought it could get a meal out of it, it would have gone for it. Rugops is the type of animal that would go in, take a few bites, run away, and watch to see if the prey is weakened at all. As you can see in its muscular legs, it was a very muscular animal, very fast, and very deadly. Its bite would have been similar to Carnotaurus, which we did a previous dino battle on, and its tail wasn't too long either, so it wouldn't have had a good balance. So now the advantages that the Rugops had was it had large osteoderms on its back, which are the same things that are in an alligator's skin, which makes it all bumpy, and they're the same things that make an ankylosaur's armor, and the same things, yes, that make a stegosaur's plate. So, if you see all these dinosaurs with armor, those are osteoderms. Rugops didn't have them as extreme as ankylosaurs or stegosaurs, because it didn't need them, because it was a predator. However, it still had them, which means that it had little pieces of chainmail-like bone under its skin for if it got attacked. Not if it got attacked, but if it got attacked, it wasn't for if it got attacked, but if it just so happened to get attacked, it would have a defense. Now, the disadvantages of Abelisaurus. It has a flat skull. It wasn't very good. It wouldn't be ramming things like Carnotaurus, and its bite was also similar to the way an Allosaurus would bite, with like an axe-like action. Although its bite was still stronger than that of an Allosaurid, like Allosaurus, its bite was still not nearly as strong as a tyrannosaurid. And speaking of tyrannosaurids, time to go on to our next contender, Megaraptor. Megaraptor was a species of tyrannosaurid that I actually thought was a crocodilontosaurid until up to this point, but now I know it's a tyrannosaurid after doing some research. It was larger, but only marginally larger than Megaraptor. It wasn't as heavily muscular, however, it wasn't as fast either, but it was longer and heavier. It had a larger skull and was definitely, due to its nature of being a tyrannosaur, built for biting. Although, its bite wasn't as powerful as you may think. One rule amongst dinosaurs is that if you have big teeth, you have small arms. If you have a big bite, you're going to have small arms. If you have large claws, you're not going to have, okay, basically. Big teeth, small arms, big arms, small teeth, is what I say. Even though that's not technically necessary, because T-Rex had huge arms. I mean, don't get me wrong. Proportionally, they were minuscule, but relatively compared to a human, they were gigantic. Like, my arm is not as long as a T-Rex's arm. However, its teeth were huge, but proportionally to the T-Rex, those arms are tiny, so it has to have a huge bite to crush things with. Now, this guy would have been a mixture of both, with a huge battery of teeth to crush and kill, but it also had a weapon. We used to think that Megaraptor was a species of raptor. That's why we called it Megaraptor. Because of one claw. This claw that probably appeared on the screen right now. We used to think Megaraptor was a raptorid. Megaraptorid. Turns out it's still a Coelurosaurian, but just a Coelurosaurian of the most and more famous group. In fact, I didn't even know I knew it, but I had forgotten it. That it was a Tyrannosaurid, and I didn't mean to put two Tyrannosaurids in back-to-back battles. Promise you, I did not do that on purpose. In fact, I'm pretty pressed for time here. So, anyway, Megaraptor has these gigantic claws on its arms, which it would have been able to slash with. It wouldn't be able to slash up and down because dinosaurs couldn't pronate their hands, but it could slash left and right. So that means it could slash basically and kill you. And with its massive jaws, it could hold on to you, kill you, crush you, and basically make you not exist anymore in a living state. So, it wasn't as muscular as the abelisaurids. Tyrannosaurids and abelisaurids are the more muscular of any dinosaur. However, the abelisaurids were generally more muscular than tyrannosaurids, except for the big, Tarbosaurus, Displetosaurus, and Tyrannosaurids, and maybe Albertosaurus and Gorgosaurus kind of dinosaurs. The main ones that we think of as Tyrannosaurids, like Tyrannosaurus Zunchen which is, you should look that up. It's going to be in it's going to be in a Dino Battle, I promise you. It was a dinosaur bigger than Tarbosaurus, but smaller than T-Rex. It's awesome. Zunchen Tyrannosaurus, Tarbosaurus, Gorgosaurus, Displetosaurus, and Albertosaurus were what we generally categorize as the big Tyrannosaurids, which were the most muscular of them all. Now, this guy wasn't as muscular, but it was still pretty big, at about 20 to 30 feet. Pretty big. Its disadvantage would be, though, it wasn't as fast. It wouldn't be as fast or as muscular. However, it makes up for that in bite force and claws. Now, that we've analyzed the two opponents, let's go into our very second Dino Battle. Okay. Picture a scene. Have we done a desert already? On grass plains. Plains in the grass. Grass plains. Picture scene in the plains. Off in the distance, a Rugops appears. The Rugops sniffs the air and smells something. Smells like rotten meat. The Rugops walks over to where the meat is smelling from, and there is a huge dead dinosaur, Triceratops. Remember, Rugops and Megaraptor live nowhere together, so that's why I'm just putting a random carcass in there, so it doesn't really make any difference. And then he hears a noise. The Rugops walks over to the carcass, and then out from behind the carcass comes the bloody face of a Megaraptor. The Megaraptor roars at the Rugops, and the Rugops roars back. The Megaraptor jumps on top of the carcass and stares down at the Rugops. Then the Megaraptor jumps, but Rugops runs out of the way with its extremely fast, muscular legs. The Megaraptor then starts to chase the Rugops away. But then the Rugops, making a quick turn, whisks around as fast as it can and turns back to the carcass. However, due to its lacking balance, it trips over a rock. It stumbles, and the Megaraptor catches up to it. But then, unexpectedly, the Rugops turns around and roars at the Megaraptor. The Megaraptor stuns, slashes at the Rugops with its claws. The Rugops sidesteps out of the way and runs and jumps at the Megaraptor. Due to the fact of its small arms, it cannot hold on very long. So it jumps and bites onto the neck, but then the Megaraptor slashes with its giant claw across the side of the Rugops and slashes the Rugops. The Rugops jumps off and roars in agony. And then the Rugops runs around and bites it on the other side. The Megaraptor does the same thing. The Rugops is using the strategy of bite and run, bite and run, bite and run. And then, finally, the Megaraptor, as the Rugops is coming at it, after the Rugops is coming at it, again, the Megaraptor then turns and slashes across the face with its giant claw onto the Rugops. The Rugops is hit so hard it gets knocked unconscious and flies across the floor. Its body tossed like a rag doll across the plains, bouncing several times. The Rugops regains consciousness, but it's all too late. The Megaraptor runs up to it and stomps its head with its foot, and then using the bite of the Tyrannosaurus the Tyrannosaurid lineage had given it, crushes the neck of the Rugops. The Rugops didn't put very much of a fight up at all. But then again, this is a Rugops. So there you go, guys. That's how I think this dino battle would go down. Although the speed and strength of the Rugops allowed it to get some bites in and run away and flee, the sheer power of the claws and the bite of the Megaraptor was simply enough to knock this thing out and kill it. I mean, sure, it's an abelosaurid. It has all this wacky armor and this huge bite and this massive skull. It's still an abelosaurid. And this is still a Tyrannosaur. No, we're not just saying it would win because it's a Tyrannosaur, but its claws are gigantic. And this Megaraptor is much bigger than Rugops. This fight was a little bit one-sided. Megaraptor would have won no matter what because it is a Megaraptor. It's a Megaraptor. The Rugops could have won had it just held on to the neck, because the soft part with the trachea is, if it had held on to that and the Megaraptor had slung itself, it would have ripped the trachea out of the Megaraptor. However, due to it not being smart enough to know to do that, like modern mammals, Megaraptor got the upper hand and slashed it across the side and hit it in the face with its giant claw, knocking it out, tossing it across the floor. And then, as Rugops regains consciousness and gets up, the Megaraptor jumps on it, bites its neck, snaps it, and kills it. So Rugops was going to win. There was really no way around it. But anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Dino Battles, and I will see you next time on Dino Battles. Or maybe, just maybe, So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like and forget to leave a dislike, and have a fan-flippin-tastic day. This has been the Primal Earth with your Dino Battle. And we are out. Hello guys, don't forget to check out these videos as well. you can check out the previous video by clicking here. Papa running Tyrannosaurus Rex review, or you can click here for another great video. No scapula, Schleich exclusive red T-Rex review, or if you don't like any of those, you can go click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Bye.